Hello everybody, my name is Mitch and this is my newbie review of the Eachine VRD2 goggles and the Eachine Goggles 2 goggles, both from obviously Eachine, and I'm going to compare the two. Now, the goggles, the VRD2 goggles have diversity and a DVR. The Goggles 2 have only diversity and no DVR. The VRD2s have an 800 by 400 screen versus the Goggles 2 have a screen capacity or display capacity of 1920 by 1080 pixels, which is high definition via HDMI input. Now, the nice part about the Goggles 2 is the high definition screen. The VRD2 goggles have a standard definition screen. The nice part about them is that it has a DVR built in, which works quite well as diversity. Both goggles have diversity. Now I find that the HDMI input is very nice. I plugged it into my Bell 5 hookup via HDMI. Very nice picture. Both goggles, I should mention, unless you have perfect eyesight, you will need to modify to get them to be able to focus properly. With the VRD2s, I put in a pair of dollar store reading glasses. These are plastic. I just added a little piece of foam either side. My glasses are now adjustable. I wear a +2 reading glass. These are +3.25 and it's almost right. I don't quite focus correctly, but very close. With the Goggles 2, I installed an RHO lens, the HPAD HD lens. It just slid right in there, friction fit, no more focus issues. I left the original lens in, so no modification required other than adding the RHO lens, which is a very easy install. Unfortunately, it costs about $65 Canadian to buy it, and or 39 euros from Germany. Well worth it. I will be keeping that lens for a long time. It went from being out of focus to be perfectly focused. Okay, now the VRD2s has a manual channel selection. I will plug it in to show you. Here we go. It displays the band and the channel. So in this case, I'm on the race band channel 7. The Goggles 2 are auto scanning, and they display the channel inside the heads-up display. It works well, but I would really rather have a manual channel selection, or at least that option. In the Goggles 2, you can do manual selection, but it does involve fiddling with menus through the heads-up display. The buttons on the VRD2 are all on the front. The frequency and channel buttons are reversed. So the channel button changes the frequency, and the frequency button changes the channels. Not a big deal. All of the functions are available from the front buttons, as well as the DVR functions, which are these three here. A power button, which is more or less not very useful for anything, just turns off the display. Menu button, and the switching of between the display 1 and the DVR display. You would want to be on AV1 to fly, as the signal through the DVR gets very choppy. The Goggles Two, like I said, it takes longer to scan, although the scan feature does work well. Now, I found that the diversity on the VRD2 seems to work better. I certainly get a better signal on the VRD2 versus the Goggles 2, although that may be the same signal looking worse on a high definition screen versus the medium definition screen. I will have to get back on that one. Although I did notice that the Eachine VRD2s switch automatically between NTSC and PAL, works equally well in both modes. The Goggles 2, on the other hand, does not switch automatically between PAL and NTSC. You have to go into the menu and switch the display. I also found that in NTSC mode, the video is quite choppy, which leads me to believe that possibly they don't quite have enough processor power to display it. I've only got the one NTSC model, and it is very hard to fly with the Goggles 2. Okay, now the VRD2 goggles have no input and no method of output, which means that if you, other than recording it, you have no way of displaying or sending the signal to another device. Easily modified. The another thing that the VRD2 does not have is sound capability, but the diversity module does have sound, and the DVR is capable of recording sound. There is just no connection between the two physically. So it can be wired so that you can receive sound onto the recording, but you will not be able to listen because it does not have audio jacks. The Goggles 2 has HDMI input as well as a standard analog input. Comes with an HDMI cable and an AV input cable. This also serves as the audio jack. So when you are listening, say, to a movie through HDMI, you can plug in your headset through the audio jack and get sound. All the connections are there. As well, if you want to input standard analog without having HDMI, it comes with an adapter, AV adapter, which you would plug in and then plug in your AV in from standard inputs on a micro jack, and it will input on AV2. Whenever you switch to HDMI input or AV2 input, the diversity system is shut off to conserve power. Now, let me see. I have the Eachine VRD2 and the Goggles 2 weigh within 20 grams of each other. The batteries are each roughly 95 grams. The VRD2 comes in my GP scale at about 455 grams, whereas the Goggles 2 come in at about 470 grams, all up ready to fly with the battery installed. The battery weighs roughly 95 grams. Between the two, the Goggles 2 feels lighter when you put it on because it looks so bulky you would expect it to be heavier. Even though it is still heavier than the VRD2s, it seems lighter when you pull it out of the box. That's just an impression. Now, the head strap on the VRD2 comes with a little loop here so that you can put your power wire through, and an elastic strap to hold the battery. I find this works very nicely. This is adjustable by varying with the Velcros here. This strap is a Velcro strap, and the head straps are adjustable via these loops instead of Velcro. I like the elastic better than the Velcro. It holds the battery better. Now, I will be also posting video. Hopefully in post-production I will add everything together so that I can show one set of goggles versus the other in a real flying situation. Again, my name is Mitch, and this is my newbie review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please click on like and subscribe if you so desire. Thank you and have a nice day. Hello, my name is Mitch, and this is my newbie flight review of the Eachine Goggles VRD2 versus the Eachine Goggles 2. And here we go. Fly around the track, guys. Up the stairs. And we'll do a roundabout. Around the track, guys. Between. Ooh. Oh well. Try that one again. There we go. Boy, change it up a little. Turn around. Forgive my mumbling. I talk to myself. Now you're witness. Ooh, there we go. One moment while I reset. This is, by the way, a modified Inductrix with Chiroli 59,000 RPM motors and mullet destruction mod. It is now gone. Performs much better this way. Luckily, I did my low voltage modification because I've been waiting for a new flight controller from Horizon Hobbies for 4 months. Love those guys. Oops, one minute flight. I'm now getting 4 minutes of flight time with a two-bladed prop mod. Oh, that's my warning. 30 seconds. There we go. Time for one more lap. hope you enjoyed it. And here we go. Let's go for that for a closing shot. This has been my newbie flight review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please click like and subscribe if you so desire.